Hi, do you want to go to a party with me?
No, the game's on.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'll be right there.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Football,
Tennis, hockey, golf. The game is...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever edition of Ball Talk. I'm Luke Vivias here with Aidan Lanham.
Hey, I'm Aidan.
And, this is going to be your new spot for an hour of just sports talk, and we're excited to bring it to you.
I'm super excited, Luke. I'm super excited.
So, Aidan, I guess we'll start with your specialty here. NBA trade deadline just happened. Give us the opening reactions.
Luke, you were with me on Thursday during the trade deadline. We had class, and I was just buzzing. You could see me skipping around school. I was just giddy. All these trades are happening. Cavs blew it up. No one. I don't think I've ever seen this before from a contender team contending for a title.
Yeah, what'd they do? Come back to only 6 players on their roster for the next game?
Yeah, they had to play the Hawks with. I think they only played 7 guys that game. They had their starting lineup, and then they had 2 guys come off the bench. Kyle Korver dropped 30 that game. He was just like, Hawks, I know I used to play for you, but I gotta give you this L.
Yeah, and then my new favorite player on the Cavs, Seti Osman. Who is this guy? Where did he come from?
I'm pretty sure he was last time playing in Turkey. I know he was drafted in 2015 by Minnesota, and now Cleveland has his rights, obviously. He's 21, 22 years old now, and he is pretty good. 6'8", 3-and-D player. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he comes out of nowhere. First 3 games after the trade deadline, just starts taking over. I mean, drops 16 against the Hawks and then 12 against the Celtics. Just a stat sheet stuffer.
He did have one kind of a not top 10 moment against the Celtics last night when he had a great steal, but then decided, let me try and throw a 2-hand slam down, and just absolutely threw it off the back of the rim into Rose Zed.
Hey, good players make mistakes every now and then, all right? It happens.
All right, so when we look at the trade, actually, though, Isaiah Thomas and Channing Frye and a Cavs first-round pick going to Los Angeles for Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. What's your feeling about that trade?
I think the Cavs absolutely stole Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson. Like, those are 2 incredible depth players, borderline starters. Isaiah Thomas obviously was not fitting well with the Cavs, and Channing Frye is Channing Frye now. You're not going to get much from Channing Frye anymore.
Yeah, Channing Frye, also a podcaster, has a great podcast, great at that. Basketball, not so much anymore. You see his video after he got traded. Don't go 0-6 or they'll trade your ass. He was right. Yeah, I also agree. I think Larry Nance is really up and coming, and I think playing with LeBron and back home in Cleveland for him is going to be really good for him. And with Jordan Clarkson, I know his numbers aren't always great, especially shooting the ball. He's only around career 32%, this season at least 32% three-point shooter. But I feel like a lot of that is his up-and-down relationship with the Lakers and the management there. I feel like he's always kind of had a friction between him and the coaches and the coaching staff, and I feel like this switch-up will be really good for him.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the chance these dudes get. Like, of course, going to play with LeBron will make anybody better.
Yeah.
But they came out, and I think their bench had, close to 60 points against the Celtics?
Yeah, they had at least in the mid-50s. I think 54 points was what their bench had against the Celtics. And I really liked LeBron was coming off pick and rolls on handoffs from Larry Nance at the top of the key with Jordan Clarkson on the weak side, and either they would have to double down on Nance because he can throw the lob to Nance and LeBron would get a little floater, or they were helping down on the roll and they'd kick it out to Clarkson. He hit 2 threes off that. It was really nice to see. It was great attacking to the rim action and actually guys hitting shots for the Cavs. Also, the resurgence of J.R. Smith after the trade deadline, he's like, oh, my ass is safe. Let me just light it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if in the trade deadline they might have gotten him a bottle of Hennessy or something to ensure his playing. But, I mean, like I said, somewhere in the mid-50s bench points, which is what the Cavs have not had this entire season. They get it and just dominate the Celtics. Yeah,
another thing Clarkson, I think, brings is what Isaiah Thomas should have brought off the bench. I feel like the Cavs were just using Isaiah Thomas the wrong way at the time, coming off an injury. And I feel like if they used him the way they're using Clarkson now, it could have been a different story. But I think in the long run, that Cavs playing bad once Isaiah came back is actually going to be good for the team overall. A couple guys we haven't mentioned yet in the trade is the Rodney Hood and George Hill three-deal trade. having to give up Crowder, Derrick Rose, and I think that was. What else did they give up in that one? I think that was it.
I think it was just Crowder and Rose.
Because they gave up. No, because they lost 6 players.
Well, D Wade went back to the Heat for
nothing.
They
But
just
there's like here's like a second round pick.
They pretty much told him go retire with
Yeah,
the Heat,
essentially.
That
But
was it.
getting a starting point guard that actually is like George Hill's at a career high on 3-point percentage this year, shooting 45% from 3. And Rodney Hood is a great 3-and-D player off the bench, young, athletic.
And I personally think George Hill, underrated passer. I mean, the dude runs a good point guard. He's not the best by any means. He's going to turn the ball over, but he's better than what they've had since they tried to replace Kyrie.
Totally. And I think with George Hill, you have a spot-up shooter that's what they needed, that spot, especially with LeBron often taking the point guard role.
Speaking of which, LeBron comes out post-trade deadline, and that triple-double he posted was unreal.
I mean, since the Hawks? Oh, yeah. I mean, like 17 assists, I think, what he had, but like it was just ridiculous. He was just toying with them out there. And then what I really liked, what I saw against the Celtics is LeBron not playing in the fourth quarter. That's something I think he's only done 2 other times all season long. Really good for the Cavs, getting him rest, especially after that long MVP-style run he had earlier in the season where he was playing like 38 minutes a game. And that just wears on a guy, especially when he's like 33, 34 years old.
Yeah, and as much as we want to forget, LeBron's not superhuman. He's a person. It's hard to fathom, but LeBron is just a person somehow.
That's true. But Giannis is an alien.
We
we agree on that.
Giannis
He's not a human
isn't
being.
A real person.
Okay,
no.
cool. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
All right. So moving past the Cavs, I think one of the more weird but interesting moves was that three-way deal between the Knicks, Nuggets, and the Mavericks.
Yeah, I think the Knicks finally got a guard in Emmanuel Mudiay that might fit their system better. Of course, we won't know. Porzingis goes down before they really ever get a chance to really run it.
R.I.P. Porzingis.
And the entire Knicks' chances to make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I think Mudiay fits well, especially because apparently, what do you call him, Frankie Smokes? Frank, however you pronounce his last name, Ntilikina, I think, is not playing well for them. He's not at all what they wanted.
I would disagree. I think offensively he's a lot more when they expected. They knew that he was really raw on that side of the ball, but his handle and his passing is a lot higher than we expected coming into the season. And honestly, defensively, he's probably one of the top 10 point guards defensively I've seen in the league this year. He's one of the few guys that's actually like been able to bother Kyrie all season, and it's really exciting to see that with his length and his athleticism. And it's like he has very good intuition on the defensive end. Watching him and Porzingis in the few minutes that Frankie Smokes would get was really fun. But I'm just bothered by the New York's like their moves with like guards in general have been really odd this last couple of years. Giving that contract to I'm forgetting his name because that's how little I like him. Tim Hardaway. He like had an $80 million contract this summer, and it's like, Hardaway's not that good.
No, the Knicks overpaid so hard for about as mediocre as a 2-3 you can get.
Yeah.
Shooting guard, small forward kind of combo player, won't excel at either one.
Like he's shooting 31% from the 3 this season, and he's only played 35 of their games, so he's been hurt a lot of the time too. That's not worth the money you're giving him. Yeah,
and I'm looking Sixers-Knicks going on right now, pretty much halftime. Hardaway's 4 for 11 and 0 for 4 from 3 to start the game. Like, paid $80 million for a dude to go 0 from the 3-point line. Like, come on.
The sad thing right now is their best player, I think, on the team is Enes Kanter. And
I agree. I honestly love Enes Kanter.
I'm not a huge Kanter fan, but, like, he's good.
I mean, he's no Steven Adams, but Enes Kanter with the Thunder was pretty fun to watch.
He's just a weird personality, too. Like, he just brings, like, a cool extra vibe, and he'll talk shit, but it's like, what are you doing to back it up?
Yeah, that's fair, because, I mean, I think it was him when the Knicks and Suns played. Booker and him were getting in a fight or something.
Well, I mean, like, he, like, stuck up for Frankie in the game against the Cavs earlier in the season, and, like, LeBron and him, like... Yep. Also... Is LeBron actually 6'8"? Because he was like only like an inch shorter than Kanter. Because like,
I'm on record gonna say no NBA player's height is accurate.
What they say. Kevin Durant, like, this last summer actually finally came out and said he's, like, 7 foot. And it's like, no shit. Like,
yeah, like we all saw Team USA pictures in the Summer Olympics. He was taller than DeMarcus Cousins.
yeah, like, it makes no sense.
Like, how are you just going to hide that from everybody? Come on.
No, but to go back to the Knicks guard situation, they've been playing Jarrett Jack, like, a ton of minutes. Then they also just picked up Trey Burke earlier in the season, and now getting Emmanuel Mudiay. It's like, why draft this guy 8th overall if you're going to, like, just bury him behind 3 other point guards?
And I'm going to be honest really quick. I didn't even know Jarrett Jack was still playing in the NBA.
He's starting for the Knicks.
Well, you know, Knicks tape, what's up? Just, that's what they do now. Like, they're just a train wreck.
No, so going to the other teams, you got players through that 3-way deal. So the Denver Nuggets got Devin Harris from the Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks got Doug McDermott from the New York Knicks, along with a first-round pick from Denver, and Denver got a second-round pick, worse of LA Clippers and Knicks.
I mean, I'm excited for the Nuggets to get Devin Harris. Like, I think the Nuggets, depending who they match up with the playoffs, could sneak a first-round win.
They've been really hot right now. I really like Jamal Murray's game right now. I'm a huge fan of Jamal Murray.
Same.
Canadian. He's a cool guy. Seems like nice.
He's Canadian.
And
of course he's nice.
Jokic is a really, really phenomenal post player
The Joker,
in the modern
dude.
game.
Oh. And, God, I don't even know how well Gary Harris has been playing for them.
He's been all right. He's been pretty good. He's been shooting really well. I remember watching them play the Oklahoma City Thunder a couple weeks ago when they had that game winner, and he hit that when Russell fell asleep. I saw a tweet from Kevin O'Connor, great NBA follow, who was after that pass by Jokic from the inbounds was like, Nikola Jokic would be the 5th best quarterback in the NFL right now.
I don't doubt that. You got like 4 quarterbacks and everybody else is just incredibly average. But yeah, no, seriously, I think the Nuggets just keep getting slept on as a team. Like I think again, depending who they match up with in that Western Conference, could steal a first-round win. Like you get them against the Spurs right now with that whole Kawhi Leonard situation going on, where his injury might be worse and he's pissed off at the team doctors and everything. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah, I could see Oklahoma City moving up to a 3 spot with the run they're going on, and the Spurs, they'll stay in the playoffs, obviously, but I could see them falling to a 4, and Denver even pushing for a 5. I'd love to see a Denver-San Antonio matchup. I honestly think, depending on the matchup, San Antonio might get pushed out in the first round, just because they don't have a star. They don't have any star power right now. LaMarcus Aldridge is good, but how far can he really push you in the playoffs?
If the Spurs don't get Kawhi back, I don't think they make it out of the first round. Like, that guy does so much for that team, offensively, defensively, leadership. Like, he's just their dude. And we've seen before in Portland, LA, LaMarcus Aldridge can't carry a team.
No, yeah.
Like, he needs a true ball handler point guard, and Tony Parker, Manu.
God, Manu, how is he still in the league?
They're well past
I
their
love
prime.
Manu.
I love Manu Ginobili, but man, does that guy need some help.
No, yeah, let's quickly talk about where the Western Conference standings are standing. So obviously you have Golden State at 1, with Houston right behind them at 2. And then you have San Antonio, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City 3, 4, 5, kind of just all around each other, fighting for that 3 spot. And then Portland and the Denver Nuggets seem to always be right next to each other, 6 and 7. I see that 1 through 7 staying in the playoffs and maybe just shifting places most.
Yep.
It really gets interesting at 8, 9, 10 with Pelicans, Clippers, and Jazz. That could really be a good fight for the 8 seed.
I will be shocked if the Utah Jazz don't find their way in the playoffs. I think Rudy Gobert can hold it down as their 5. Spida Mitchell, going to be Rookie of the Year. Carry the backcourt play like into the Nate spot. I mean, you look at the Pelicans. Yeah, you got Anthony Davis. Boogie's hurt. After that, like AD does it all. Clippers didn't blow up their roster, which was surprising. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of what's going on in LA.
Yeah, like you said, I think the Jazz are really going to sneak in and steal that 8 spot. They're playing really good right now. 9
Nine straight wins.
That's
for the
incredible.
Jazz.
The combination of Rubio and Mitchell has been really fun to watch. They've been really pushing the ball a lot more lately, which is what they've been needed. They need to score more because they're a pretty good defensive team. I just really hope Gobert can stay healthy. I know he had that injury early in the season, but if he can finish the season healthy, that would be good. I don't see the Clippers pushing for a playoff. I imagine the Lou Williams hot streak's going to end pretty soon.
Right?
I feel like it already has ended, to be honest. I think it was just like he had like 3 50-point games, and we're just like, whoa. And then like he hasn't really done much since. But and then Pelicans, I like the Mirotic trade, but like you can't replace a guy like Boogie the way he was playing. He was in
No.
an MVP caliber level at that point. But yeah, speaking of the Clippers, I feel like if you're gonna trade Blake Griffin, why not blow it up?
Yeah, like you get rid of. He was going to be their franchise player. Like what? They just gave him a 5-year deal.
5-year, like near $200 million. I'm pretty sure it was a ridiculous contract. I know, like the last year of it, like it was a player option, and he like. To be honest, it's a good trade for them because that contract was atrocious in my opinion. With a guy who's had 6 knee surgeries, why are you paying him that much money?
But still, like you just paid him that much money.
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm sure everybody in LA was a Blake Griffin fan. Like as a Clippers fan, I'm sure Blake Griffin.
There's Clippers fans in LA.
Maybe.
When you watch the games, there's not many people there. So,
I mean, I would hope so. As a Phoenix Suns fan,
that's fair point.
We're there in Phoenix. They just don't want to have to pay tickets to go watch arguably the worst team in the NBA play games. But no, I mean, like kept Avery Bradley, kept DeAndre Jordan, which I think was the most shocking thing to come out of the trade deadline. And then Lou Will. I could have seen him trading him. I could see him keeping him just because he had that ridiculous stretch, and you don't really want to lose every game from here on out if you get rid of those 3. But keeping DeAndre Jordan, I don't really get that. I mean, just traded Blake. Your playoff hopes kind of went out the window when he did.
Yeah.
And could have gotten a lot for DeAndre, depending who you sent him to.
No, yeah. I think that they tried to play too much of the middle game. Looking at Blake's contract, it was a 5-year, $171 million contract. This year, $29 million. Next year, $31. Year after that, $34, $36. And then the last year with a player option of $38.9 million. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts. But, I mean, you're right, though. It's going to save them a lot of money on.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like,
that cap space is going to
coming up.
Well, especially with DeAndre on the way out, like most likely with this his contract running up, I don't see him re-signing with the Clippers unless they can really get an off-season pull. I've heard like rumors that they were in the mix for the LeBron free agency pool, but I doubt that. I don't see LeBron going to the Clippers at all. If he's going to go to LA, he's going to go to the Lakers.
Yeah, as much as I never want to see that ever happen, I'd agree. I think he'd pick the Lakers over the Clippers. Like
the move that I wish would happen from the Clippers was they had just acquired Avery Bradley. I really wish the Thunder could have got the Avery Bradley.
Yeah, you were big on that.
Oh,
you really
man.
wanted that to happen.
I think the trade would have been Abrinas and Ferguson for Avery Bradley, and I understand not wanting to give up Ferguson. You just drafted him in the first round. He's a pretty interesting prospect.
Very raw.
Yeah, very raw, really athletic. People were like, saw 2 dunks, and they're like, put him in the dunk contest. Let's do it. But Avery Bradley would have just been the perfect replacement for Andre Roberson, and even an upgrade. Roberson is a lockdown defender. Bradley is just the same. He's a little bit smaller, so he might not be able to guard threes as well as Roberson. But the one thing he gives you that Roberson can't is shooting. Roberson cannot touch the ball in the fourth quarter. Like, you put Roberson in the fourth quarter, it's a liability. They might hack a Shaq your 2 or 3 guard. That's not good.
That shouldn't be a thing.
Exactly. Whereas you've had Avery Bradley, he's a good spot-up shooter.
Yeah, and again, like that's just what the Thunder needed was somebody who could spread the floor more consistently. Like, yeah, you have Russ, PG, Melo's been there.
He shoots the ball.
He shoots it every now and then, but I mean, it's been the Russ and Paul George show with some Steven Adams assistance here and there. But Russ, not the most consistent 3-point shooter. The dude just drives like the freak athlete fast. Paul George can get hot in a hurry from behind the arc. Don't get me wrong, but a dude who could just sit in the corner and he could feed and then lock down 2 guards, like
it's a nice luxury to have that a lot of teams would want to have.
Yeah, and I can't believe they didn't at least try to pull the trigger. Like, not even any rumors came out for that. Like, there was people were floating Avery Bradley's name, but
yeah, no, I think the Clippers wanted Abrinas and Ferguson or some like a variation with Ferguson for that trade, and I think the Thunder were just not willing to give up Ferguson for that, which is understandable. He has potential to be a really good pick.
Yeah, he does.
Again, with like the 1-year contract, kind of like with DeAndre, I'm surprised. Like, how did Memphis not give up Tyreek Evans for anything? He's gonna leave you. There's no way he's staying.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't have a good answer for that. Yeah,
like
he's gone next year. There's no way. Like, why would he? I mean, maybe he loves Memphis. Who knows? Maybe it's just. barbecue
I
or
don't think
something.
I don't think he loves Memphis.
I don't know, man. Like that dude's gone. And if he keeps playing like he has been, he's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah,
we
he's
saw
definitely
any-
gonna get paid.
If Tim Hardaway Jr. can get an $80 million contract, Tyreek Evans is about to get paid by somebody.
See, the problem with that is, unluckily for a lot of guys that are playing really well on 1-year contracts right now, there's about to be a market correction because there's this big market cap like expansion, but now it's like being corrected at the time. Over the next couple seasons, you saw it with the Lou Williams extension, only getting like $8 million per year on the 3 years, and you're gonna really see like a lowering of salaries over the next few years in contract signings just because of that. But yeah, just to not get anything, I know they were really pushing for a first-round pick, but you got to get something out of him, like because you're not going to the playoffs. You might as well get rid of him so you can tank, get a first-round pick, maybe get in Laporter, Bagley, Aiton, Doncic, who should be the number 1 pick overall.
DeAndre Ayton, number 1.
Arizona, you're an Arizona fan. Well, you're Arizona State.
I'm an Arizona State fan.
But you're from
U of A,
Arizona.
But DeAndre Ayton,
he's really good, and he's
also not
scarily
18.
ripped.
He's not 18.
He's like 35.
Yeah, we all know that.
So we already talked about the Western Conference standings. Let's look at the East a little bit. We got the Raptors technically at number 1 right now after the Celtics took a fat L from the Cavs last night. Celtics number 2, Cavs number 3, Wizards 4, Bucks 5, Pacers 6, Heat 7, Sixers 8, and then you have the Pistons right behind the Sixers, and you have the Hornets kind of within shooting distance, along with the Knicks. But then after that, it drops off into teams ready to tank.
Yeah, I mean, top 3. Those are going to be the top 3. I think the Celtics come back. They take 1. The Raptors are going to Raptor, drop to 3, and Cavs are going to take 2. Like, I can't see anything other than that happening. But the Bucks are tearing my heart out because I was sold on the Bucks. I was excited. Like, their length for defense was just unmatched. And then they didn't do anything at the trade deadline, which I don't understand. They're sitting at 5, half a game back of the Wizards, 2 games back of the Cavs. Like, they could be in top 3 at any moment, and they just didn't do anything at the deadline.
Yeah, they've kind of been a team that's 1 year away from being 1 year away for the last, like, year and a half now. But I could see that the Wizards are really hot right now, but I also, like, don't trust them when Wall comes back.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same way.
I just don't trust the Wizards, like, ever.
I think that's where I'm at, too, because I've always been way too excited to watch the Wizards play in the playoffs, and then they just get rolled.
The same, yeah, that's how I feel about the Houston. Like, you always get really excited to see them in the playoffs. Like, you're like, oh, Harden's going to be really good, and then they just suck.
Yeah, but don't forget this year, it's CP3 and Harden. That
true.
Rocket team's going to be terrifying.
When CP3, Harden, and Clint Capella have all been playing at the same time, they've only lost 1 game this year. That's terrifying.
Why you're my co-host, because
you would know that.
Never have found that fact. That is legit terrifying.
When it comes to the top 3, though, I kind of disagree with you. I think the Raptors might take 1.
Really?
Yeah, I really like their, like, people have been, like, playing up the whole Boston's such a young team. Look at them. They're playing with young guys. If you look at the Raptors, they're not, like, as, like, literally young, but experience-wise, they have, like, a bunch of 1-year guys and 2, like, rookies and 2-year guys. And then they have DeMar, Serge Ibaka, and Kyle Lowry. And it's, like, they're playing really, like, Fred VanVleet had, like, 25 or something against the Celtics last time when they beat them by a ton. I could see the Celtics right now dropping to 3rd and Cavs going on a hot streak right now.
Oh, I'm ready for the Cavs to start taking over again. But see how we just talked about we don't trust teams? I don't trust the Raptors.
I didn't either, but then I watched them play, and I'm like, holy crap, they're really good now. Because, like, they're not just, like, doing the thing where they play really well because they have, like, good players, and then, like, but no, like, they've changed the way they play. They play in, like, a more modern style of the NBA. They shoot a lot more threes. DeRozan shoots a lot more threes, which is, like, really the most important part. He's not, like, taking that, like, 1 foot inside the 3-point line shot that, like, pisses everyone off. But yeah, I could see it ending up being Raptors, Cavs, Celtics, Bucks, Pacers, Wizards, Sixers, Heat.
Okay,
that's my top 8.
I'd agree with that. I mean,
I think the Pistons don't have enough guard play because they're kind of trying to do the Eastern version of the Pelicans with Drummond and Griffin, kind of doing like a Boogie and Davis thing, just not as good.
Not even close to as good.
Not even close to as good. You were correct.
Neither one of those guys can hit an outside shot to save their lives.
Blake Griffin can shoot now.
Really?
He can shoot.
Yeah.
Drummond can't shoot.
No,
He can shoot free throws now. He's like 60%, which is like
oh,
20% over what he shot last year.
yeah, last year was rough to watch.
He
Everyone
started
was
like the
free throw
first
line.
12 games of the season like 80%. People were like losing their freaking mind. It was incredible.
I mean, naturally. I mean, I'd love to see the Pistons get into the playoffs just because, I don't know, Blake Griffin sticking to the Clippers. Like, Pistons make the playoffs, Clippers don't. Just
That
kinda
would be
funny.
cool, but like I just don't see it happening.
I don't see the
Also,
Pacers, Heat, or Sixers dropping out.
I just don't like Van Gundy that much.
Same. Yeah.
Sixers are playing really well right now too. They've been pretty good the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Picking up Bellinelli too on the buyout was really good. That could add him another shooter that they need.
Do you think Markelle Fultz comes back this season?
This season, I'm really not sure. I've been following it a lot. I'm fascinated by the whole like situation of like, how do you just like your shot just changes like that, and like why you changed it? Because there's like still discrepancy over like whether or not he got hurt and then it changed, or he changed it then he got hurt. Because like he was shooting fine. He was in the summer league. Then he like twisted his ankle and like didn't play the rest of the summer league. And then he went off and trained with his trainer. Came back to camp and was shooting his free throws like he'd never played basketball before. And it's just like I've never like it's Anthony Bennett levels of like just weird. Like, but the thing is, Anthony Bennett was like never good to begin with. And it's like, but Markelle Fultz is good. Like
Markelle Fultz dominated Pac-12 basketball.
Yeah, like he didn't play that many games, but like,
but when he
did, he was really good. His team was just terrible.
Oh yeah. Shout out Washington.
Shout out UW.
Go Pac-12. Baby.
Huck the Fuskies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just incredible because watching highlights of him being able to pull. His pull-up game is really good. He could shoot off the catch, and his finishing around like. I think he could still play now. Like looking at like what I've seen, he could still play right now. But it's just like people would just rondo him and like wouldn't guard him on the 3-point line because he like won't shoot it.
Right.
But like there's times where he like will pull up from mid range and it looks more natural, like back to his natural shot. But it's just so weird. I don't see him playing the rest of the year.
All right, and I asked you because I'd love to see him come back and hopefully be able to shoot a basketball like he's done it before. But I mean, watching Ben Simmons kind of just run point and take over that team's been really fun.
No, yeah, I'd love to see him as a 2-guard. I think that's like the ideal position for him, anyways, because he can create and stuff. Whereas Ben still can't shoot the ball, which if he gets a jumper, it's just it's the same with him and Giannis. If they get jumpers, it's game over. Like they're the two best players in the league. But yeah, it's just incredible like what's happening with Markelle. I was reading an article today that was just like talking about how what was it? He's just like he's there. Even like when he was diagnosed with an injury, he was still shooting a bunch. Like he was still doing shooting workouts and stuff. Which I feel like that you take him out. You like have him go see like a sports psychologist and like go through his like rehab and just like fix his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I actually hadn't heard anything about if he had like switched his shot because he was hurt or something like that. But I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Is if he hurt his shoulder.
That's the most reasonable thing to me. Like
yeah,
he hurt it and then he tried
agree.
to play through it because like he's young. He was the number 1 pick. He wants to go prove himself. He's like gets hurt and then wants to play through it.
And then made it so much worse for him.
And then like with all the pressure and stuff, I could see how that gets me. He's like on his Twitter, he was like retweeting him like shooting workouts of him in like July when his shot was normal. I was like, what are you doing?
If I was the number 1 pick, I would probably feel a lot of pressure to perform too. Especially
I'd like get my paycheck.
The Sixers finally have so much hype behind them.
They're so like they can be so good.
When's the last time people actually cared about the Sixers outside of Philadelphia?
Like before Evan Turner was drafted there, which is like
the Sixers have like a low key national fan base right now because so many people want to see him succeed.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be really great.
I mean, I give all the credit to Joel Embiid because
he's
shooting
great.
your shot for Rihanna is great. That's how you get fans.
But then he's just like becomes an all-star and he's just like, nah, she didn't want me.
I'm not doing it now.
Nah.
Like, are you kidding me?
I ain't like that. I don't need that.
The amount
That's my boy.
of swag you have to do that.
Do you ever just look at you ever seen his Instagram posts after games?
Yes, they're hilarious.
And then
they
like
always have some
like
kind
on the
of jab.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great.
Oh my goodness! Like, he had his best one like a week ago or something. I can't even remember what it was, but I was dying. I think it was something with the Warriors.
Yeah, remember he had one against when they played the Thunder, and he was like took a tough L, but it was just a picture of him dunking on Westbrook.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, see, dude, Joel Embiid, like that's somebody that I would love to play for or with. I mean, like as a teammate, like I just have Joel Embiid. Like, oh, like that's how you have some fun right there.
So to move on past NBA, last week was the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Don't know if you knew. You know,
I
small event.
had to miss half of it, but that's okay.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, you know.
Did you watch any of it back? The parts you missed?
No, I meant to, and then you know what happened when I was switched back to it? I missed the entire first half again.
Nah, you know.
Yeah, it's okay. I watched the second half. So that's the only important part.
It's true. I mean, like, that's when the Patriots actually start playing football. They did this weird thing. They were just, like, trying a bunch of weird stuff the first half, and they were just, like, not playing Patriots football for the most part. And then, like, the second half, they're like, all right, let's throw it to Gronk 6 straight times. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, like, hey, let's go back to what works. Like, and then it worked, and everybody's just like, huh, weird. Like, Gronk can't be guarded. And it's just like, yeah, everybody in the world knew that. The dude's a freak.
Yeah, coming up to this game, the one thing that worried me is there's no one star for the Eagles anymore now that Wentz is out. And that's like the Bill Belichick special. It's like you have this one guy, he won't play, like he's a non-factor the rest of the game. Like that's what he does. He finds ways to shut down like that one star player that they need to like produce.
Oh yeah.
To be effective, and they just like are too overallly sound. Like they're too sound overall to like. They have like 4 backs, and I'm like, they could start for most teams in the league.
Yeah. LeGarrette Blount, J.J., Corey Clement, and then they even have Wendell Smallwood who would get in, get carries, and score touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. And then the receiving core of Aguilar, Ertz, Jeffrey, and Torrey Smith is really good.
And then the funny part is the only person to go over 100 yards receiving for him is Corey Clement, their running back.
Okay, well, so he shouldn't have 100 yards because that wasn't a catch, but like. It's
That's
fine.
just because you're a Patriots fan.
It's partly because I'm a Patriots fan, but it's also
that was a catch, and it was one of the best catches you'll ever see a running back make.
But did he have possession yet?
Dude, we could argue over possession for 3 hours.
The catch rule is just
not knowing
ridiculous.
what
The
it
catch
is.
rule is so like
Catch rule's dumb. Like, just find a way to solidify it one time.
I heard
Please,
it.
NFL.
I listened to the Bill Simmons podcast a lot, and the way they described the rule change to be is, you go to every sports bar in America, and you ask them, "Is this a catch?" And if the answer is yes, it's a catch. And I think that's a pretty sound way because like when go back to the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers game, like week 15, when the Steelers
Jesse
had that,
James.
yeah, the Jesse James catch. That's a catch. I'm a Patriots fan. That's a catch.
Oh, that's
we should have lost
100%
that
a catch.
game. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The NFL catch rule is like so subjective, and it's like that can't be a subjective rule. It has to be like definitive.
There's
and like
got to be a way to make that clear cut. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how, but there's a reason.
that's
there's
also
people
not our
in the
job.
NFL front office
Exactly.
getting paid to make that rule. I mean,
#fire Goodell.
oh my goodness, the dude gets an extension. Oh,
I was so upset.
I don't understand why. But you
I-
agree, Zach Ertz, that was a catch.
Oh, Ertz was definitely a catch. That
Okay.
He had possession. Like he was a runner. I don't know why that was even questionable. He was a runner. He caught the like if you're playing pickup football like with your friends or something, you're like I would play like we have one quarterback and we'd just do 1v1s.
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
catch
yeah,
the ball
yeah.
2 steps. Like that was always the rule. 2 steps, you're runner.
Yeah, like that. I mean, I don't know. The NFL's getting outrageous lately. But really quick, Super Bowl, Tom Brady, GOAT. Like, if there's somebody out there who disagrees that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, sit down, shut up. The dude's 40 years old.
And threw for 500 yards.
500 yards,
Super
3
Bowl.
TDs.
And that one turnover, I can't really blame him for. Like that was one really good defensive and really bad
Oh.
on the offensive line.
Brandon Graham with an incredible play.
That was a great play.
Like, I mean, first off, yeah,
Heart wrenching for
great,
me, but
great pressure. But the dude, like, imagine how much savviness you have to have as a D lineman to be going full speed and just see it. And like he did it one-handed, just stuck it in.
yeah, it was really good. Also, after this game, I do not want to hear any more about the conspiracy theories about the Patriots and the refs, because if it were true, we would have got the Ertz call and the Clement call. So, just saying.
Oh, the Patriots still cheat.
Oh, I mean, we cheat, but like, we do it with class.
That's fair. That's fair. I just still that picture with the ref celebrating with them after the AFC Championship.
Not even so. He congratulated Tom Brady after winning the AFC Championship.
You're telling me that's not a little sus?
No, he was right there. He's like, "Oh, hey Tom, congrats on going to your 8th Super Bowl." Like that's normal.
Yeah, whatever. Okay,
I've had refs talk to me during games when it's like doesn't even matter. Like they're like, "Hey, nice pass," and I'm like, "Thank you." Like that's very kind of you.
Yeah, that's true. I guess umpires talk to me all the time.
Exactly.
But I'm also a catcher, so I'm with the umpire.
Well, no, yeah, but I was like, if I'm at the top of the key and I throw a pass, I'm right next to one of the refs.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. All right.
It just happens.
I'll give you that, whatever.
People who are upset about that, like, I'm like, you are just searching for, like, a Patriot conspiracy theory.
It's because Tom Brady's too good at football.
He really
I find
is.
myself searching.
So, like, it really came down to our defense, and our defense was terrible. Like, they just played bad.
Speaking of your defense, Malcolm Butler, what?
I don't think it would have mattered. I honestly don't think it mattered. I think our secondary wasn't entirely the issue. They had some good coverage. Like, sometimes they were really, like, took a while for him to get thrown off. The problem is we never pressured Foles all night. The only sack of the night was the one on Tom Brady for the fumble. And I don't know how many times we rushed Nick Foles, if at all. But, like, he was never under pressure, it felt like, the entire game. He had the pocket all day long.
I mean, James Harrison got in there a couple times, but that's James Harrison doing James Harrison stuff. Other than that, like, the Patriots' defensive line has just never had that one player.
Not since Vince Wilfork, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel like they really lacked this year,
yeah.
Especially because that Eagles offensive line, that's a really good offensive line.
Yeah, they played extremely well.
Yeah.
And, like, the couple times that Harrison did almost get to Foles was able to step up and make a throw because the rest of the pocket was sealed.
Yeah, I mean, their guard center play all night from the Eagles was just insane. Like, the one half I got to watch, again, Nick Foles never sacked. He threw his interception in the first half, so the second half he was never pressured.
Also, his interception was, like, not his fault.
Oh, really?
His interception was, like, Alshon Jeffrey had the ball in his hand, and then it got, like, flung out of his arm. And, like Nick Foles played a perfect game. That interception should not go on his record. I hate... As a former quarterback, high school quarterback, you know, pretty good.
Yeah, you stud.
The whole, like, when a guy drops a catch and then it's intercepted, that's the dumbest interception in the world. Like, don't put that on my stat sheet. That should be the receiver's interception.
They need to make a separate stat for that, 100%. And then speaking of Nick Foles, does he stay? Do the Eagles trade him? Is Carson Wentz traded? What's going to happen with their quarterback scenario?
See, that's my hot take. I hope they trade Wentz. Because, like, Wentz is too risky. Wentz is, like, he'll run, and, like, he drives. Like, the play he got hurt on, he dives into the end zone. It's just like,
dude, that was such a freak injury, though.
I mean, it's not a freak injury. You tear an ACL. It happens all the time. Kristaps dunked on Giannis. He tore his ACL.
But how he did it, like, it's different. He dunked and landed.
I know it's a freak. I know it's a freak injury, but, like, I hate, like, this argument of, like, oh, it's a freak injury. Like, that, like, rarely happens. But now it's happened. Like, that's on his leg. That's, like, gonna affect the rest of his career. So, like, my part is the style of play he plays, unless he, like, tones down, kind of like what people always say about Cam, like, he needs to tone it down a little bit. Unless he tones it down again, I could see that happening again, like, on the same knee, just because it's weaker now.
Yeah.
And if you can get Nick Foles, like, to play like that, like, if you keep, like, installing the RPOs and, like, playing, like, how he played the season he, like, went off, he's honestly, like, a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he came into here completely unproven. It's like people forgot
that he played, like, extremely well in 2015.
Yeah, he played like 12 or 13 games or something like that, and I think he went undefeated.
That was like the first Chip Kelly year or something.
Yeah, and everybody's like,
when he I loved Chip Kelly as an NFL coach because he would just sign all Pac-12 players.
Oh yeah, dude. Just not biased at all. But I mean,
never.
See, personally, I think Nick Foles to the Cardinals makes too much sense.
Makes too much sense.
Like, Nick Foles to the Arizona Cardinals.
Get, like, Larry Fitzgerald on one last year.
Yeah, like, I mean.
How old is he?
Oh, dude, I don't
old?
even know. He's old. He's got.
I love him, by the way.
Oh, Fitz is the man. He's got maybe. I want to say 2 years as a fan.
I don't.
But that's just a stretch. Like, I think he's got 1 year left. He's going to break a couple more records. But Nick Foles to the Cardinals, and then you draft.
34
years old as an NFL receiver. That just sounds.
He seems. I honestly was like, he's 36, right? Like,
he seems older
than that. Yeah,
it's just what we.
I mean, Tom Brady's 40.
Yeah,
that's what I always go back to. It's like the GOAT, my hero.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wonder why, but like Nick
TB12,
Foles,
the workout, the workout and food regimen.
Oh my goodness! Did you hear?
You gonna buy that? I'm thinking about it.
No,
I'm not thinking about it.
Not even. I can't even joke about buying that. I'll only buy it if he kisses me on the lips goodnight every night. I'll tell you that. That's how I'll buy
Okay,
Tom Brady's.
I get the
workout
whole
regimen.
people freaking out about it. I don't think it's that weird.
It's not that weird. It's a family thing.
The weird part is some of them were a little long.
That's what I'm saying. He lingered a couple times.
I don't
the
think it's
length-
that weird though. Like it's
no,
fine.
I mean,
It's not like he's like.
it's,
I'm not gonna say that on air, but
Yeah, no, it's a fine. It's completely normal. Like David Beckham does it with his kids. If you've ever seen that,
dude,
like that's.
would you let David Beckham kiss you though?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like let's be real.
yeah, but
Just for to say you could.
oh yeah. Continuing with quarterbacks again, Nick Foles. He's going to the Arizona Cardinals. Jimmy G's contract with the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo just became the highest paid player in the NFL.
NFL history, not quarterback,
Player.
player. I love it, but I'm nervous about it at the same time because one, I'm the biggest Jimmy. Like I was a little upset. I was not a little. I was very upset when they traded Jimmy G as a Patriots fan. I honestly you had the whole Brock Osweiler thing under Peyton Manning. I was like, oh, he'll be really good, and I was like, you can't really teach people to be like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's just got a ridiculous work ethic.
And people don't just come out and see the game like Peyton Manning saw NFL
Exactly.
defenses. That's instincts. You can't teach instincts.
But when you have Brady and Belichick teaching you for 4 years,
Okay, and Jimmy G was a more established college quarterback. I get he came out of a smaller school.
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler, Pac-12.
but the same thing with Wentz.
Jimmy Garoppolo was a much more polished, better college quarterback.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I loved for the Niners that was the best trade ever.
Oh, dude,
The fact that
they
they-
stole him.
No, they absolutely robbed the Patriots of him. He went 6-0 for the
5-0, 5-0,
5-0.
Last 5 games,
Oh my
5-0.
God. He was incredible.
Threw 5 interceptions.
He
but-
beat 2 or 3 playoff teams, maybe 2.
Oh.
I think 2.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 5 interceptions in 5 games, but when you have the 49ers offensive line in front of you, you're going to have
And
some
also,
throws.
he'd been there for a week before he started. It's not like he had much time to get used to all the guys and the system. He was just thrown into it and thrived.
Dude,
I love it. As soon as Tom Brady retires, I'm a Niners fan. It's I don't care how flip floppy that is. That's how much in love I am with Jimmy G. Jimmy G is the second coming of Tom Brady. Look
Dude.
at him. He's gonna marry a model.
back in that draft, God, when was he drafted? 2014. I wanted Jimmy Garoppolo so bad.
He's great.
I'm sitting there this dude's coming out of Eastern Illinois. I think
He hasn't lost as a starter ever.
no
in the
and
NFL.
I think he holds almost every Eastern Illinois quarterback record.
I mean,
I wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, I was gonna say it's Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, when's the last time you heard a quarterback out of Eastern Illinois?
Well, actually, isn't that where Breeze went?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where Breeze went. Breeze went to Eastern Illinois.
No way.
I'm pretty sure. But anyways, yeah, I think they absolutely stole
They
him,
absolutely
and the
stole
Niners
him. They
could
had
have
him
a
for
franchise
5
quarterback for
years.
5 years.
Oh, they 100% have a franchise quarterback. I think. I mean, they go into this draft and they just
kidding.
go
He went to
straight
Purdue.
offensive line. Then the Niners have a shot to actually be relevant since Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, Drew Brees went to Purdue. I
I
forgot.
was gonna say I thought he was a much bigger school.
Tony Romo went to Eastern Illinois.
That's 2 good looking quarterbacks coming out of Eastern Illinois.
Also, side note, Tony Romo as a broadcaster is my favorite thing ever.
Same. Yeah, I agree.
He is so, and Sean Payton went there. That's why I got confused. Sean Payton went to Eastern Illinois.
Okay, that makes more sense than with Drew Brees. I'll give you that one. Dude, I'm just looking over his contract right now. $42.6 million in 1 year.
Can I have $2 million of that and just pay off my college? We can split it.
I'm in, dude. I just want
I'll text him. We're friends.
yeah, is that why we can call him Jimmy G?
Yeah,
on
I
our
call him
show?
Jimmy Jesus, but
Jimmy Jesus. I'm here for that one. I'm on board for Jimmy Jesus.
I love Jimmy. That's a great nickname. Great nickname. Very attractive dude. Great quarterback. He's literally Tom Brady.
Except, I mean, we got TB12 and Jimmy Jesus. I think Jimmy.
Well,
Jesus,
Jimmy Jesus is better.
I think
but
it's a better nickname right there. I think Jimmy Jesus takes it.
I agree.
I mean, are you following any of the draft at all?
For NFL,
NFL draft?
I think all 3 quarterbacks are so overrated. I think all
Really?
3 of them are trash. I really do.
Rosen, Darnold, and Josh Allen?
I think Allen's the most overrated. Because if you're when you look at small quarterbacks like Garoppolo and Wentz coming out of college, and being successful, high percentage of their college completion percentage is really high. Like Garoppolo's and Wentz's were both in year 70. Allen's his last year was 51.
See, I think that's just because zero talent around him, and Wyoming had a tough schedule with who
They had a tough schedule, but I understand like being bad in like the first few games because you're going to be playing big D1 schools. But like your conference, you should be dominating. If you're a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, you should be dominating.
He dominated the Senior Bowl, though.
Oh, he dominated that's like saying you dominated the Pro Bowl. Like,
I don't know. People go a lot harder in the Senior Bowl than they did.
Yeah,
in the
but
Pro Bowl because
I
the
don't put a
Senior
lot of
Bowl can go into the
I don't put a lot of
draft
stake in the Senior Bowl.
Well, you know who else played very well in the Senior Bowl that people didn't respect was Dak Prescott. He had a pretty good rookie year.
Yeah, but Dak Prescott also threw like over 65% in college.
That's true.
I-
That was a
when I
Mississippi State
look at-
offense
when
that
I
was
look at a
built on
quarterback-
5-yard passes. though.
I know. When I look at a quarterback that I want coming out of college, I want high completion percentage. Mariota was over 65%. Wentz was over 65%. Garoppolo, I'm pretty sure, was over 65%. Like, I need a quarterback that can complete passes. If you're not completing passes, I don't care about you. Like, goodbye.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure all 3 of them had pretty low completion percentages this last season.
yeah, they did. Darnold, I feel like I agree. I think Sam Darnold.
Rosen's
is so
definitely the best.
overhyped. Yeah,
Rosen's
Josh
definitely the
Rosen-
best.
Josh Rosen for sure the best, most polished, gonna be the best rookie quarterback.
Also,
Probably.
like, the most controversial in the sense of, like, he just says whatever the fuck he wants, and he doesn't care. Like, in terms of, like, he, like, talks shit about the NCAA all the time, and, like, he was like, we don't have time to be students and stuff.
Oh yeah, like I'm big Josh Rosen guy. He'll succeed. Sam Darnold's gonna go number 1 overall to the Browns and
Good. Whatever.
just be
It's the
bad.
Browns.
He's just gonna be bad. 'Cause I don't think
When does
Sam
LeBron
Darnold's even
retire
good.
and become a Browns player?
Dude, just throw him at tight end.
Honestly,
Like,
he would be
who-
so good.
You gonna let David and Njoku just play tight end for the next 10
Who?
years?
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Exactly. You know who I really want to see get a chance to start in the NFL is Baker Mayfield.
God.
I'm all on
What
the
a
Baker
jackass.
Mayfield hype train. Dude,
What a jackass.
you're telling me you wouldn't want that guy to be a leader on your team?
I mean, not really.
Really?
I think he'd be a fun guy to have around, but I don't know if he's a good leader.
I feel like if there's somebody that's gonna get a locker room together, it'd be Baker Mayfield. I get it. He can do a little bit too much. Don't get me wrong, but
The whole, like, I thought it was funny when he, like, did the whole nuts thing. He, like, was it Kansas or something?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. I loved it, but I'm like, that doesn't make me want to sign you to my NFL team.
oh well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure owners don't want that, but you're telling me every guy in that Oklahoma locker room didn't want to go out there and just die for Baker Mayfield? Because I think they did. The dude was carrying around a pretender sign with quotes on it because that's what they kept calling Oklahoma in the college football playoffs.
That's great. I love that. That is true. He's a fun character, and he's a fun Heisman.
He'll sell tickets.
Yeah, he sells tickets. That's for sure. Like, he's definitely more exciting, and that's like really the problem with the NFL right now. No one's like the fact that college football players are more recognizable than NFL players most of the time, or like
Because college players can have more fun and freedom. NFL players can't do anything without getting fined anymore.
which is super ironic since the NCAA is like this like we shouldn't say too much, but I can. It's just like this like prison of like Division I football players, and it's just like. There's you wouldn't associate the NCAA with freedom necessarily.
That's a good point. It's a very good point there. What do you think about Lamar Jackson? You're talking about
Is he
completion
leaving for the
percentage.
NFL?
I don't know if he's said anything yet.
I'm not entirely sure.
No, yeah, he's begun
think
his
he's-
draft prep. Yeah, he's going.
I think he's a little small in terms of like weight. I think he needs to put on weight if he's gonna play in the NFL. Like
Yeah,
Russell
he'll get-
Wilson's like short, but he's like built and like can take hits.
Yeah, RG3 was roughly the same. size
Exactly.
as Lamar
That's what I'm
Jackson.
worried about. I'm worried about Lamar Jackson being Robert Griffin III.
Well, I see that, but you're talking about
Also, R.I.P. Robert Griffin III. He's not actually dead, but just R.I.P.
rest in peace his career.
Yeah, I liked him.
Um,
He was fun.
I think you're speaking about completion percentage. I think Lamar Jackson,
Fif-
all 3 or 2 years as a starter, 3 years,
3 years.
3 years, his completion percentage has gone up every year. Yeah,
It has gone up. It was 54 freshman year, 56 his sophomore year, 59 this last year.
and I mean, 59
Not
is
great,
not-
but like
not
he's also a
great.
dual threat, so like he's running the ball. a lot.
He's running over 1,000 yards each season. I think his interceptions went down every year. if not like they were close. Like
They didn't go down. They went up one each year, but like
the dude got better. The bottom line is what I'm trying to
he
say
got
is
better.
Lamar Jackson got better every year, and you want a guy to draft and stash.
I think he should stay another year.
I could agree. I think one more year for
I
him.
want to see more
probably
for
would've
him
been better.
because he could. Besides the Robert, besides the Robert Griffin III thing, I think he also is kind of like a little bit of Manziel in him. Not in terms of personality, but like just in terms of play style and stuff.
Explosiveness.
Yeah,
like, he
I think
makes
I just
something
don't
out
know
of
if he's really
nothing.
built for the NFL.
Yeah, it's
Sadly, because I think the NFL should be changing styles anyways.
yeah. I mean, I think he's going to go to the Bills and replace Tyrod Taylor as a better Tyrod Taylor.
That's a good take. I like that take. That's a fun take.
That's what I think.
I'd
Lamar
love to see that.
Jackson does.
I'd love to see that. But the thing, I don't think the Bills want a dual threat quarterback because they started Nathan Peterman over Tyrod Taylor, like for some godforsaken reason, and like we're like okay with him throwing 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Then they were like, all right, we'll finally take you out now.
Understand that one.
That has to be a 30 for 30, right?
The Bills have had too many sad 30 for 30.
That's fair enough. They don't need another one. They don't need another one.
The Bills can, for once, like stay out of the press.
Yeah, we don't need to know more about the Bills. They can just be sad by themselves.
Yeah, seriously, all those Bills Mafia though, the greatest fan base in the NFL. Please tell me you saw all the Bills Mafia videos.
Oh, it's
Barstool
so
Sports
great.
Started posting. Oh my,
They're
goodness.
lunatics. The NFL fans are just lunatics.
Oh yeah.
Quickly before we move topics, I just want to talk about the coaching staff changes. The Patriots got to hold on to Josh McDaniels, which I thought was big.
Collusion. Illegal somehow.
Not collusion.
Get back to the Patriots cheating.
No, he just realizes that Belichick's going to retire in a couple of years, and he's going to be able to take that spot.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, they came out and said they didn't promise him that job. They
absolutely promised him that job.
Under the table, McDaniels.
I'm pretty
head
sure
coach of the Patriots.
I heard a quote that was saying like that Belichick was like told McDaniels that I'm going to show you my ways. It's like so like weirdly like
Pretty much
apprentice-ish.
like Jesus just leading you through just life.
Moses leading you through the Red Sea.
Just like, hey, I'm gonna show you the exact way to do everything right and be immortal. So here you go.
Here you go. We get rid of Matt Patricia. He goes to the Lions. Thank God. Let's get a new defensive coordinator. Get rid of Matt Patricia and his fat ass. That's a little harsh, but
That was just a touch.
But then the Eagles just got drained with their offensive coordinator and their quarterbacks coach, both willing to get different teams. With Frank Reich now going to the Colts, that since Josh McDaniels isn't taking that job, and John DeFilippo, the former quarterbacks coach, now being the offensive coordinator at the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Where'd the Vikings go? Where'd Shermer end up? Pat Shermer?
Oh, I have no idea. Who's Pat Shermer?
He was their coordinator. The Vikings offensive coordinator. God, he went somewhere.
Did he go somewhere? How do you spell his name?
It's a good question. Pat Shermer, he went. Oh, wait. Bears?
Oh, God.
Maybe?
I'm sorry for your career.
No, maybe he hasn't been signed anywhere yet. I mean, Shermer left. That dude's. That's who I want to go to the Cardinals, but he went somewhere else. I can't remember. It's too much coaches moving everywhere.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. It always is like just kind of like a shuffle of coaches, though.
Do you like Gruden to the Raiders?
That's so stupid. $100 million for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. That's the dumbest contract I've ever heard in my entire life. God. I'm
Oh,
so
man.
sorry, Oakland fans. That's like, Jesus Christ.
That's
I could see them going to like Browns level of low now. I just don't think Gruden has it anymore. Like listening to him in the booth, like I think Romo would be a better coach.
I don't know if players would respect Tony Romo enough. I think the dude, because it sounded like he was so not.
Give
liked
Romo like
coming
10
out of
years.
Dallas. Oh yeah, you got to be old unless you're Sean McVay. That
Yeah.
dude dominated with the Rams, and I don't even know where he came from. Pat Shermer went to the Giants. There we go.
Oh God, still God for your like.
Oh, dude, they're gonna get Josh Rosen, and
Do you think they're gonna draft quarterback? Do you think they're gonna play Eli one more year?
dude, you got to draft a quarterback.
I don't know. Do
This
you?
quarterback, like,
I don't think that quarterback class is that good.
I don't think next year's is gonna be any better. Well, I think if you have a shot at Josh Rosen,
If you have a shot at Rosen, yeah, I'd
you
take
got
it.
to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, if
If the Browns don't
number
take
one,
Rosen, then yeah,
if he goes number one, and then you're stuck with Darnold, Josh
don't
Allen,
take him. Absolutely. Just,
I think you could pass on him. And
who's like next up after that? Like in terms of prospects?
like just any position?
Yeah, just
They could take Saquon Barkley.
Oh my God, I love that. That's great.
No,
He's
that's
so
if,
good.
If they don't get Rosen, they have to take Barkley. Let Barkley establish a running game because it's not like The Giants aren't an awful team. Their defense just forgot how to play football, and Eli Manning threw 3 interceptions.
Jason Pierre-Paul, does he still play for them? He's only he lost a finger,
He lost like 3 fingers, dude.
Baker Mayfield.
Like, yeah, like
Or I mean, like I'm seeing this now. Like Bradley Chubb's up there, Joshua Jackson.
they could take Bradley Chubb. I don't think they need.
Dude, if Josh Allen falls to the Jets, that would as a Patriots fan, I love that. Take him, Jets, please take him.
Dude, I think Josh Allen
What
could
the
be
hell?
a good
Wait.
quarterback. Yeah.
Are you seeing this? Baker Mayfield is number 1.
Oh my, who is that? Is that CBS?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
CBS. This is
I've
11
never-
hours ago.
I've never once trusted a CBS mock draft. No way. No
If Baker
way.
Mayfield went number 1 in the draft, like, oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
Hey, dude, CBS did a fun thing with CBS mock trades at every pick. Because that makes just perfect sense. That's when you're just a on-staff
What is CBS
writer.
doing?
On-staff writer who doesn't know what to do with their time.
Okay, yeah. So, like, I think they were kind of maybe doing a weird, this is what teams might do instead of the conventional. So, So what I'm looking at is Browns taking Darnold in this mock draft on NFL.com.
Darnold's going number 1 to the Browns. Dude.
Rosen to Giants, Barkley to Colts.
Yeah.
Which
Ooh,
I
don't, dude. The Colts
is
need
Andrew
defense.
Luck gonna ever play football again?
Hopefully, because that guy
I hope
was
so
a
too.
god.
Also, his voice is hilariously like, oh my God.
Oh my, he does not sound like he talks. Like
He's such a lumberjack.
I love it. And the dude went to Stanford. Like he's low key a genius.
He's low key a genius. He's probably actually a genius, but
That's why he's so.
whenever I think of
awkward
Andrew Luck,
socially.
I think of the game against USC where he just blew up a cornerback after he threw an interception.
that yeah,
Like that's just like
that's
everything
the most Andrew Luck play.
that's
you'll
like
ever
everything
see.
I want in a quarterback, even though I don't want that at the same time. Like I want to be able to blow up a corner, but don't actually do it.
Yeah, like be safe, don't hurt yourself, but at the same time, I want to know you could go just demolish somebody.
Like I loved when Marcus Mariota went and blocked for that conversion during the playoffs. But I'm also at the same time like, please don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. So keep rolling through the mock draft. What else we got?
I'm not seeing really any names. I didn't follow college football at all. I see Baker Mayfield at 15 for Cardinals.
There we go. See,
You'd love that. You
Oh,
would love that.
I would be dancing the rest of the day.
Who's your guys running back right now? David Johnson?
David Johnson.
That'd be a fun duo.
that'd be a hell of a duo.
If they put some RPOs in there, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Calvin Ridley to the Redskins. They have Alex Smith, so they just need like people.
Oh
now.
yeah, dude. Redskins are going all offense, guaranteed. They need playmakers.
Is Kirk Cousins a free agent now? Right?
Yeah. I bet he goes to the Broncos.
Did you see the whole thing about the Jaguars are going to keep Blake Bortles?
Dude, Blake Bortles.
That's
is
the
just
worst.
getting-
That's the worst decision in the world.
Blake Bortles isn't
I
that
hate
bad.
that.
How do
He is that
people-
bad. He is that bad. He
The
is that
dude
bad.
didn't turn the ball over once in the postseason.
Okay, cool. Because they like called plays were like, this is where you throw it. Throw it there. I swear to God, Blake, if you mess this up.
And it worked.
It
So why
worked to
not
an
do that in the
extent.
regular
It
season?
worked to an extent. It like if you watch the first playoff game against the Bills, it looked like he didn't know how to throw a football.
But they won.
Yeah, because it was the Bills.
Dude, all I'm saying is he had a great game against the Patriots.
Oh, the Bills had
And if-
back-to-back face in the first round. That's
Yeah,
wild.
they're gonna draft the center with one of them because their poor center just got told he had to retire because of
That's-
a neck injury.
Neck
Like-
injury. That sucks.
Forced to retire by doctors. So that poor
Like you were saying, it looks like they might take Lamar Jackson at 21.
I told you, Lamar Jackson's going to the Bills, and
That'd be
he's gonna
fun.
be a new, better Tyrod Taylor.
Andrew Brown. I don't know who that is.
Nice.
I was looking at Patriots pick, and I was just like,
I like it. We're almost out of
anyone
time.
Belichick picks, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, you just trust it.
I trust it.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time already. This has been an insanely fast hour. Really quick. Winter Olympics are going on. And apparently last night, Mirai Nagasu was the first U.S. woman to ever land a triple axel in women's figure skating. And all I've ever heard is a triple axel's nuts.
It's
So-
pretty nuts. I watched it. I watched like the video clip on Twitter, but like I watched it. It was super cool. It was like and she landed it pretty smooth. Like you could see like at the landing, like it's obviously like a tougher move. So like it's not gonna be like if it's a perfect execution, like oh my freaking god. But like it was still incredible, and it was a pretty smooth like landing for it and everything.
Yeah, all I know is I can't figure skate at all. So
I can like the
Ice
the last
skate.
time I figure skate was like middle school, and I remember like it was a process. It was a process. Trust the process.
yeah, dude. So like just congrats to her. That's awesome. Winter Olympics curling, best Winter Olympic sport there is. I don't think anybody.
I agree.
I don't think
Like-
anybody could disagree with that statement. Like, U.S. curling is probably going to be the most followed sport for the next month.
Sadly. I mean, after NBA basketball, but
Dude, I don't know, man.
dude, people don't watch the Winter Olympics. I know you're really big into it. I'm just
I
not
love the
into
Winter
it. I'm just
Olympics.
not into it. I'm really big Summer Olympics guy, but I just can't buy into Winter
That's
Olympics.
because the Summer Olympics, we all have time to watch it.
That's also
Nobody's
true.
doing anything.
Well, it's also their fun events. Like, I don't care
You're
about
telling me-
hockey.
dude, you don't want to watch somebody bobsledding's nuts.
Bobsledding's actually really funny.
Bobsledding, luge, man. You got double luge. Like,
That's scary though. Those stuffs are scary.
oh yeah. Could you imagine just eating it on one of those?
Like, I don't remember what it is, but like the person where like it's one person and they're just like sitting like this,
luge.
and like
luge.
you see like their feet kind of like moving. I'm like, what if you crash? You're
I was
dead.
watching when
Your
yesterday,
legs are
somebody hit
broken.
The wall.
That's terrifying.
That's absolutely terrifying. Quick medal count update. Germany 7 total, 4 gold, leading it all. Netherlands has 7 total with 3 gold. Norway actually has the most medals with 9, but they're sitting at 2 gold, 4 silver. So they're back. at
Solid
third.
overall.
Just dude, they're just that feisty team right there.
And
Canada 7.
the one
2
time
gold.
Canada is ever relevant, the Winter Olympics.
Winter Olympics. Canada's here to stay. And then the U.S. is 5th with 4 total medals, 2 gold. Just got their first 2 in snowboarding.
America.
Like true United States. Can't do anything other than snowboard.
Yeah. We used to have some speed skating days. Like,
Apollo Ono.
dude, do you ever watch him on Dancing with the Stars?
No.
Fun
I
fact.
feel like he had to be really good.
He was really good.
I
at
think
that.
if you're going to speed skate, you're going to be an
Fun
incredible
fact, I
dancer.
am a Dancing with the Stars historian.
No way.
From like 2013 behind.
That is awesome.
Like I could probably tell you a lot of the athletes that were on Dancing with the Stars.
That is awesome.
I watched it a lot.
That is incredible. Yeah. Man.
Fun fact. That's a weird fun fact.
I don't know how to respond to that. That you're just
I know a lot about Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, dude. Aaron Andrews. I pretty much watch it for Aaron Andrews. Let's be real. No.
God, man. That's the goal. See,
She
get
was
into
on it.
Get into broadcasting and marry a girl that looks like Aaron Andrews. That's dude.
Or Ponder's wife, Sam Ponder.
Oh, Sam Ponder.
Sam Ponder is beautiful.
She's a great broadcaster too. I don't know, like that girl knows her stuff.
Yeah, I mean they both do. They're really great.
Oh yeah, it's like Aaron Andrews is bad at all. It's not like she's Doris Burke. Can't stand Doris Burke.
You can't stand Doris Burke. Doris Burke's incredible.
Oh, dude, she annoys me, man.
No,
I blame the 2K games.
Fair point. I like
blame
the 2K.
two-
All
I
the
blame
2K
Doris
announcers.
Burke and 2K.
All the 2K announcers, like you kind of get sick of them. But like, what I'm really excited for this Wednesday. Oh my gosh, it's Bill Walton is doing an NBA game.
No way.
Yeah,
They're giving Bill Walton the freedom to do an NBA game?
yeah. So it's called NBA crossover. So I know Dick Vitale is doing an NBA game too.
Oh, my goodness. Is on ESPN, yeah? Naturally aired? Because I have to watch that.
I'm pretty sure it's both ESPN games.
Oh, boy. I'm here for that. That's going to be wild. Oh, my goodness.
I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Dave Pash? They're calling.
No, that's last year's.
Is that last year's?
Yeah,
Oh.
but I know Walton's doing it. I know Walton's doing a Blazers game. I'm pretty sure it's Walton's doing a Blazers Warriors game, which is going to be incredible.
That'll be awesome. Hopefully Dame goes off again. So, quick NBA scores here, because they're all teams we talked about earlier. Clippers are dominating the Nets. They are up by math 19. And just DeAndre dominating. Again, should have traded him. Could have gotten a ton for him before he leaves. I saw the Sixers dominating the Knicks because the Knicks are just irrelevant again without Porzingis. And Pelicans are dominating the Pistons. So who knows? Maybe the Pelicans actually will fight and stay in the playoffs, but I don't think so. I don't think they can do enough. Actually, Nikola Mirotic is going off. That's who we didn't talk about. Nikola Mirotic to the Pelicans.
I mentioned it. It's meh.
I
Like
like
he's
it.
been good, but like it's not gonna replace Boogie.
Any dude who fights his own teammate, I'm here for. I
That was
support
so
him.
I mean, he didn't fight. He got punched.
Yeah, he's the one who ate the punch,
Yeah,
right?
he ate the punch, and now he's playing like incredible.
Dude, sometimes it just takes
Sometimes you just gotta
getting
get
punched in the
punched.
face. Yeah, man.
Didn't like Kobe get punched like the early 2000s?
Kobe did a lot of things in the early 2000s people don't remember. That was number 8 Kobe.
Yikes.
Number 8 Kobe. Different person.
Yeah, I wish I had it for you right now, but I know Walton's doing the Blazers Golden State game, and then Vitale's doing the Clippers Boston game. I just don't know who they're doing it with.
That's all right. Those
I
are
think
the
Mark-
only two you need to know.
Mark Jackson's doing it with the Vitale, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I like that. Mark Jackson's a good announcer.
Yeah.
You don't like him?
I think he's okay.
I like Mark Jackson.
I think the Mike Green, Van Gundy, Jackson combo, Green's the best out of 3. Mostly because I just love watching games where Green does late game and you just hear a bang. A Mike Green bang is just like the best feeling in the world.
Yep. Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Well, all right.
Our hour's up.
It's fun talking to you, Luke, for this hour.
It's good talking to you too.
I'm
Aidan.
excited to get started for the next few weeks to be doing this.
Yeah, first of many. Hopefully, God, I'm old. I leave here soon.
It's old. You can come back. I'll sneak you in. I'll sneak you in.
Oh, perfect.
We're already talking about the future. I love it.
Oh yeah, this should be here to stay. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this first ever broadcast of Ball Talk. I'm Aidan.
And I'm Luke.
I'll see you soon. And then just backwards.